Hi and welcome back. So I'm going to get straight into this. This is the email I received from the YouTube support team. You can see that it is a privacy complaint and it reads, "Hi, my longevity experiment. We would like to inform you that we have received a privacy concern about your content. Before we review the content, we would like to give you an opportunity to review it and, if necessary, modify or remove any potential private information within the reported content. Receiving this notice does not imply a violation of YouTube privacy guidelines, and no action has been taken against your content or channel at this time. Please find below the list of the reported content with the reported video timestamps. Please note that the violation may also occur at other timestamps, as well as in the audio, title, video description, channel image, or background reported content and details." So after I posted that video, AlphaCell Labs did start to respond to those people who left comments in the comment section. They just used a cut and paste answer for everyone, which is understandable. This is the second time and I assume it's them because YouTube doesn't tell you who has made the complaint, have made a formal complaint about my YouTube channel. The first one, when reviewed by YouTube, didn't affect the video, so I'm assuming they didn't uphold the complaint. The second complaint is now about 3 weeks old. Now, YouTube didn't contact me when the first complaint wasn't upheld and haven't contacted me as of yet. So I'm going to assume that it also has not been upheld by the YouTube team. So that video was uploaded in June of 2023. That's nearly 2 years ago now. Now, I've had quite a few new subscribers since then, and I'm guessing some of them come from Australia, and definitely some of them come from America because AlphaCell Labs have now got a partner in America. Now, I also know that not everyone will go back and watch all of my previous uploads if they've only just subscribed. So I shall show you the video again now, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. The privacy complaint revolves around me using Google Maps to show their operating address. So let me know if you think I'm compromising their privacy. I have recently checked their website and they've now completely removed their address from the website. It was on the website. It was also at the top of their third-party certificate of assay. I'm guessing that's why they've done another challenge against my video, is that they've removed the addresses now so no one should be able to find them on Google Maps. Now, they've removed it from both. That's their website and their third-party certificate of assay, which when it comes to the certificate showing their purity is a little bit worrying. Enough waffling off me. Let's jump in and take a look at the first review. Hi and welcome back. So as you may know, Amazon in America, Walmart, iHerb and Shopify have stopped carrying NMN as a supplement, and as a result small companies are popping up now more than ever to try and fill that gap, and existing companies are now trying to become more visible. A viewer prompted this next review. Enough waffling off me. Let's jump in and see what this next NMN supplier review has got to offer. So this week's company selling NMN, or nicotinamide mononucleotide, is AlphaCell Labs, and they operate out of Australia. This is their logo. There was a comment from a viewer prompting me to do this review, but I forgot to save it. If you are that person, please leave a comment below and I will pin it to the top of the comment section. So now we know who they are, let's dive in and let's see what AlphaCell Labs has got to offer. So this is their homepage. It's a Shopify store. It looks good, but then nowadays that isn't difficult with the simplicity of the plug and play templates that Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, etc. now offer. Where before a poorly designed website could well have been an indicator of cutting costs and a less reputable company, a well-designed site nowadays just means that someone's paid Upwork or Fiverr a couple of $100s to put it together. It's not a reflection in any way of the quality of the company's product. This video banner looks very good. For me, it looks like they're trying a little bit too hard. Not sure how this kind of banner relates to longevity products. They do sell a couple of products for energy. Like I say, I think they're trying a little bit too hard here. After the video, if you scroll down, it shows some of their products. We'll cover all of their products a little bit further into the presentation, or a bit further into the review. If you scroll down a little bit further, then we come to a testimonial from Jake Smith. I have no idea who Jake Smith is. He may or may not take the supplements that he's talking about, and he may have been paid to appear on this. We don't know, and I suppose unless we find out from AlphaCell Labs, we will never know. A bit further down then, we've got a section on information with regard to all of their supplements. Now, in this information section, if you click on these links, there is some great information about NMN and NAD. Nothing new, but everything all in one place. So that's good. That's good for this site. If you then scroll down, there are more information tabs that you can click on to learn about the other supplements they've got. When you get down to this one, this, in my humble opinion, is a little bit misleading. Why is NMN banned in the USA? Go beyond all the hype and get all the answers. Well, NMN is not banned in the USA. You can still buy NMN from companies like Renue by Science and Pro Health Longevity, American companies that will ship to you inside the USA, and companies like DoNotAge.org and also Youth and Earth. You can buy outside the USA, and they're still allowed to ship into the USA, so it's not banned at all. So slightly misleading, maybe ignorance, maybe trying to mislead you. We don't know. Scroll down a bit further, and then we've got this particular statement that caught my eye. Take pharmaceutical grade NMN. Now, again, either purposely trying to mislead you or ignorance. There's no such thing as pharmaceutical grade NMN. Pharmaceutical grade is relevant to drugs or to compounds used in laboratory studies, not to health supplements that you buy on the internet. The only thing that separates one NMN product from another company NMN is the purity level, and you find out what that is if they've had their product third-party tested. It's up to you if you are happy to buy 95, 96% pure, or if you're only going to go for companies that sell you 99% pure. And then if you scroll down a bit further to this banner, you can see they're made in Australia. Comes around every now and again. Their NMN is not made in Australia. They may well package it and capsulate it in Australia, but I'm guessing, like the majority of companies, their NMN comes from China. So how long have AlphaCell Labs been trading? Well, according to name.com, this website's been up since July 2021. So at the time of recording this, just under 2 years, not a huge amount of time, but long enough for them to research and build a catalogue of well-established longevity products and energy products. That seems to be the way they're going. Let's take a quick look at their shop. You can see here they've got 6 products. This 7th one here is a bundle, so not separate at all. So they sell NMN, but they don't sell TMG. In my humble opinion, NMN and TMG together are a no-brainer. And their Resveratrol that you can see here also contains black pepper. No studies to support enhanced bioavailability when it comes to Resveratrol and black pepper. We know that if you mix it with fatty food, it becomes more bioavailable. So I think black pepper with Resveratrol is a bit of a gimmick. AlphaCell Labs, the laboratory, I'm assuming, their address is 30588 Alfred Street, Milsons Point, New South Wales, Australia. So they say they're a laboratory and that they make their own NMN. This is 88 Alfred Street. You can see that, as far as I'm concerned, that's a residential building, and I'm guessing they live in apartment 305. So far, talking about pharmaceutical grade that we know is not a thing. Made in Australia, probably trying to mislead loyal Australians, claiming that their lab is in a residential building, and black pepper in Resveratrol is going to give them, I think they're going to earn their first red flag. So will this company be a diamond or will it be fugazi? Time will tell. Let's dive in a little bit deeper and see what AlphaCell Labs has got to offer. So before we move on to their products in a little bit more detail, a few more things that caught my eye. This is their returns policy. If you're going to go and check it, I'm not going to stop here and let you read it in any detail because it is quite long, very convoluted, and very specific as to what you'll get back depending on what you spent. And I may be wrong, but it looks as though they're either worried about returns or they might have a tight budget. If you do take the time to read this, let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, in the About Us page, this tells us about the guy that set up the company. He may be called Steve Andrews, we don't know. But as with lots of supplement companies that are sprouting up now, he didn't set this up to be a profitable business. Oh no, he set it up to get away from, as he says, away from traditional money grab products and away from the cheap marketed products. So not to make money, purely just to be a company that isn't like all the other ones. The other thing that I found quite strange, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a small section here called PS, and it says, you may be wondering, well, who I am, what's my full name, what's my address, what's my blood type, and what's my star sign. No, I don't care. I'm sure you value privacy. I also value privacy. If I said my name was Steve Andrews and I put a picture of someone, what difference would it make to the quality of our products. The products would still be made to the highest standards in Australia. Again, we're already thinking that's probably misleading, regardless of what my name is or what I look like. Our business is to produce great products. Our team, including myself, deserve the right to our privacy. I hope you can respect that. Well, I do, but why would you say all this? Why not just not mention it at all? Just for a comparison of two companies that I believe are reputable, this is the CEO of Do Not Age, Alan Graves, and this is the CEO of Renue by Science, Brian Nettles. And Brian Nettles is 63 years old. Nothing to hide. No, neither of them have got anything to hide. They go on podcasts and talk about their companies. So I'm wondering why he's had to put, or he thought there's a need to put this statement up there. I'm just wondering, what's his problem? Is he trying to hide something? Let me know in the comments below what you think about either the returns policy or specifically this comment about privacy. I'd be interested to see what you think about that. So let's move on to the AlphaCell product. You can see here we've got NMN. There are 9 pictures here on the left. I'm only going to focus on a couple now, and we'll look at some more later on. You can see this one here says the AlphaCell advantage, and it's got the pros and cons of theirs versus others, and they call them cheap NMN. You can see the first one says food grade NMN versus third party tested. There's no such thing as pharmaceutical grade. Everybody's NMN is food grade. It's just the purity of that food grade. And again, comparing food grade NMN to their third party tested doesn't really make a difference, because if the cheap NMN, as they call it, had their NMN third party tested, it's exactly the same. The next one down, I don't see a big advantage of one 500 milligram capsule over 2 or 3 smaller capsules. This seems to be they're trying really hard to find enough things to put in the advantage column, because there aren't really any advantages. The BPA is a concern, but what if the cheap NMN company actually makes sure that their NMN is in BPA free containers? There's absolutely no issue at all. What they're intimating here is that all of the companies have plastic containers that contain BPA, which is just a wild guess. Another one here a bit further down, then they talk about made in Australia, and again we know it's not made in Australia, it's made in China. And then they've got a video here which also talks about made in Australia, but when you watch the video all the way through, it's not showing them making NMN in Australia. What it's showing them is taking Chinese NMN, putting it into capsules, and then putting those capsules into AlphaCell lab bottles in Australia. So loyal Australians that want to buy Australian, and people similar to America where you get the made in America flag, it's not made there, it's just put into capsules and it's put into bottles, and then they can claim made in Australia in this case, or in this case made in Australia and also made in the UK or made in America. So I believe these are Chinese products, as everyone else's NMN is, but it's just packaged in Australia. I'd be interested to see what you think about the NMN product. So moving on, let's take a look at the cost. You can see here that they've got 60 capsule jars. We'll look at that one. 60 500 milligram capsules is 30 grams. You can see it's reduced here from 256 Australian dollars to 176. 176 divided by 30 is $5.56. If you look here at the graphic, it says $5.23. So they obviously changed the price, but they haven't updated their graphic. Very sloppy and unprofessional, in my humble opinion. You can see here also it reads $157 for 30 grams of free shipping, but the cost is actually $167. So someone needs to really start proofreading the AlphaCell site. So $5.56 Australian works out at around $3.70 US a gram. They're saying that the competition sell it for $9.99 a gram. Let's see what the competition do actually sell it for. Renue by Science, 240 125 milligram capsules, so 30 grams with a 10% My NMN discount will cost you only $2.06 a gram, not $9.99. Do Not Age, 60 500 milligram capsules, exactly the same, 30 grams with a 10% My NMN discount code will cost you $2.91, so nowhere near $9.99. Youth and Earth, 60 125 milligram capsules, so with there you'll need to buy 4 jars. They give you a 15% discount, and that's going to cost you $3.82 per gram. And even from Pro Health, 60 1 gram capsules with their 15% My NMN discount is only going to cost you $3.11. Renue by Science is the cheapest, and by $1.64 a gram. That's cheaper than AlphaCell Labs. So if you take 1 gram a day, that's going to save you $49.30, so nearly $50 a month. Now, when you convert this $9.99 Australian into USD, that works out at $6.75. The 4 companies I've just referenced there are nowhere near $9.99. So this isn't just misleading, this is a downright lie to let you, or to lead you to believe that theirs is a lot cheaper, and that theirs is $5.23 and all the competition is going to cost you $9.99. None of the 4 companies I've spoken about there are going to charge you anywhere near $9.99 Australian. So very expensive, incorrect graphics and misleading costs to have a go at the competition, I think will earn them their second red flag. Right, let's move on and take a look at their Resveratrol. Quite a lot to unpack here and discuss. You can see on the left to begin with, you've got 5 pictures. None of these pictures, unfortunately, show a picture of the back of the bottle, so we've got no idea about fillers, safety, whether or not it's safe for vegans, etc. You can also see here on the left that their trans Resveratrol comes with black pepper, as we've discussed, but it also has thrown in it vitamin D3 and K2, so a real Frankenstein concoction in this Resveratrol container. The last picture here, if you look at the picture, it says that was a wordy quote from the paper. What paper and what quote? So in my humble opinion, this is obviously a clumsy cut and paste from another section of their website. If you scroll down, and we will scroll down in just a second, it takes a while to get there, you do actually find the ingredients list. There's the ingredients list. The bottle contains 60 capsules. They say that's a 2-month supply, so 1 capsule a day. If you do that, 1 capsule gives you 150 milligrams of trans Resveratrol. Now, they do mention David Sinclair a number of times on the website. He takes 1 gram a day. Why are they underdosing by 850 milligrams? What do they know that David Sinclair doesn't? Or are they just cutting corners and adding in fillers such as black pepper? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, okay. Vitamin D3 is actually a hormone, and this can be measured accurately by taking a blood test. If you are in the insufficient range, then the extra vitamin D3 that's in with this Resveratrol, if you only want Resveratrol, is actually a waste of money and you don't need it. If you are insufficient or deficient, you will need to discuss with your doctor exactly how much you need, so how much dosage you need to get back up to the correct reference range. My doctor has agreed with me that 5,000 a day and 10,000 twice a week is okay. Some people have talked about being on 50,000 a day. It appears that the amount that they're giving you here on this website is just a safe guess. Let me know again what you think in the comments below. In my humble opinion, when it comes to vitamin D3, an extremely important hormone, you should get a blood test and then talk with a medical professional if you are outside of the sufficient range. Don't just hit and hope by taking a very small dose, which is mixed in with your Resveratrol and for some reason black pepper. I can't really work out the cost here because there are 4 compounds all mixed in together. But if you just take a look at the Resveratrol and you're only taking this because of the Resveratrol, you're going to be paying $40 for 9 grams of Resveratrol, and that is very expensive indeed. So if you look at all the comments I've mentioned now with the things that don't seem to add up or don't seem to make sense, I think this is going to earn them their next red flag. So moving on, let's take a look at their certificates of assay. First of all, NMN, easy to find. It's in one of these pictures to the left of the large picture on the NMN page. When you click on this, it does open up, so it's easy to read. However, for some reason, they've cropped all the testing laboratories details off. Why the secrecy? I don't know. If you wanted to call the lab and just confirm the authenticity, you can't do this. This seems to be a little bit like the I'm not going to tell you my name or show you my picture paragraph in the About Us section. It's not hard and fast evidence, but it does seem to lend itself towards they've got something to hide, or they don't want to be as transparent as all the other NMN companies seem to now generally do. Moving on, let's look at the Resveratrol certificate of assay. You can't get the certificate of assay from the pictures on the left, so you've got to scroll down on the right and then you get it here. If you double click on this, it's not going to open. That's as big as it's going to get. Very difficult to read. Even if you go in and you zoom, because the scan is so bad, you can't read what the information is, that's pretty poor. Also, it's not in the same place as the NMN. Compare that then to I've chosen the NMN one for some reason, for Renue Bioscience, you can see Micro Quality Labs has tested their product. Also, it's uploaded in such a way that it's huge, you can read it. When you scroll down all the certificates, they get more than one certificate. All the certificates they use when they test their products are all large enough that it's easy enough for you to read, even if you are possibly short-sighted. So a couple of points there for their certificates assay, but not really anything, I don't think, that's going to warrant a red flag. So let's take a look at their Trustpilot page. I did search for their Trustpilot page. They didn't have one. If you then type in their URL and you search for that, it appears that Trustpilot will automatically produce a page for them. So they're probably not aware that this page exists, because I think my interrogation of Trustpilot actually gave birth to this site, if you like. It's unclaimed and there are no comments on it, because I'm sure they're not aware that it's here. If they do watch this may be the first time they're aware that they do have a Trustpilot page, and let's hope they claim it soon and it starts to fill up with positive reviews on their products. I checked on similar sites such as reviews.io, but I couldn't find AlphaCell Labs anywhere. So the trend of being secret and not wanting to give any information away seems to be filtering through to this as well. This has to be, I think, their final red flag. So I hope you found that interesting or informative, hopefully both. And if you're looking for an NMN supplier in Australia, I hope you found it helpful too. I'm now going to cover the three main areas I do after a review. So professional website, lots of focus on the products being made in Australia, lots of good information about NMN, but no proof about made in Australia. A 2-year-old company that's still only selling 6 products, no Trustpilot page, quite a few unfair comparisons with their competitors, incorrect costs on their graphics, and an owner who wants to remain anonymous, and other secrecy issues. That's going to earn them 5 out of 10. Certificates, 1 NMN certificate, very recent, so that's good, but cropped at the top and bottom so that all the other details to do with the laboratory, etc., references to where it was tested, completely removed. That's going to earn them 8 out of 10. Resveratrol, 3 other products mixed into it, and no proven need for black pepper. Underdose vitamin D, a certificate that is difficult to get large, and again that's been cropped too, so that's going to earn them 6 out of 10. Costs, NMN, very expensive, $49 a month more expensive than Renue Bioscience, so that's going to earn them 5 out of 10. Resveratrol, hard to estimate the cost because there's 4 compounds included in their concoction. Regardless of that, all the compounds are fairly cheap. If you wanted to take 1 gram of resveratrol a day, that's going to cost you $40 a month, and that's only going to last you, for 9 days. If you wanted to take a month's worth, that's going to be 3 bottles. That's going to cost you $120 a month to take 1 gram of NMN a day. So that's going to earn them 5 out of 10. So total 29 out of 50. That's going to give them 3 stars. And if you think about the issues or the red flags that we talked about as we went through, they earned themselves 4 red flags. So that's it for AlphaCell review. Do you agree with this score? If not, let me know in the comments below. Do you think I could have been more critical? Would I buy from this company? Probably not. The main reason, they're very expensive. They mix a lot of things in with their resveratrol that they don't need to. When it comes to vitamin D3 and K2, I want to be fully in control of what my vitamin D3 intake is so I can monitor it through blood tests. And if I want to take more than 150 milligrams of resveratrol a day, I also don't want to have to take 3 bottles for the exorbitant cost that they've got. As always, this is just my opinion. Feel free to comment below and tell me if I was right or wrong. It's not a problem. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this company, and let me know, would you consider buying from this company? So I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'm pretty sure that using information that is already in the public domain and accessing Google Maps and using it for the purpose that it was intended is not breaking any laws. But I'd really like to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think they have a privacy claim against me? And if you did watch all of the video and you're in either the USA or Australia, do you think you would buy from AlphaCell Labs?